Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this week's Smackdown live review. Got a shout out to do first of all, and that's for Jade and Tobin. So thanks for the support and thanks to all of you guys that watch these reviews. This week's show was okay. It wasn't a disaster. The in-ring action I thought was pretty strong. There was just a few matches and a few moments that I thought were really flat. They were like squash matches, but there was enough in it to kind of keep the storylines advancing. And all in all, it was pretty entertaining. As I say, it was just a so-so okay week. It starts off with a women's contract signing, which I don't recall seeing first of all on a show. I think I might have seen it on NXT, but I can't remember seeing a main roster show that starts off with a women's contract signing. And so out came Alexa Bliss, out came Becky Lynch. Daniel Bryan was saying this is the new era and it was going to be civilized. It wasn't. We knew it wouldn't be. Kind of Alexa Bliss turns the table over, chucks the contract, and it's a normal kind of what you would expect contract signing. Alexa Bliss, I thought, did really, really well here. She is someone that's only been on the main roster for about 7 weeks, and so, you know, I could understand if she was still kind of finding her feet, but she went toe-to-toe with Becky, and it all worked out absolutely fine, you know. Becky, great as always on the mic, Alexa Bliss, as I said, held her own. So that I thought was a good start. And then backstage you get Bryan and the Miz. Miz saying he's not going to defend the Intercontinental Championship. Daniel Bryan saying, "Oh, you've not read your contract, have you?" And kind of saying you don't have to, but then your contract's void, so it's up to you. Miz obviously decides to defend the IC title, but I like how they're still teasing these tensions. I don't know what it's going to build up towards. Personally, I'd like it if Miz eventually puts his hands on Daniel Bryan and then he gets stripped of that Intercontinental Championship. I don't want to see Miz lose it. I think Miz has done some great work this year. His in-ring stuff has been very strong, and actually I'd argue that him against Ziggler on this week's SmackDown was the best match out of both brands. So as I say, in-ring stuff, you know, really good. But I don't want to see him lose that title. I want to see whatever's happening with him and Bryan continue to build, and I'm very interested to see where we're actually going with that. So drop it in the comments if you think you know. I don't know if it's going to be a Daniel Bryan match. I can't see that happening. I've read rumours that Bryan wants to. I've read rumours that he thinks he can do another match. But I just don't think WWE will clear him. I don't think that's what the plan is, but let's see. Next we get the Usos against American Alpha. Usos win, and they win with targeting Gable's knee again. Gable's knee gives out. Jordan has to make a decision. Is he going to tag in Gable, who is clearly injured, or is he going to take a beating himself because he's kind of, you know, in a bad situation? He takes the beating. They lose the match. It makes Alpha look like a strong unit. You know, they look out for each other, and makes the Usos look like, well, the heels that they are. And I think there's a lot of good stuff happening with that kind of whole storyline. Backstage we saw Heath and Rhino eating squirty cheese and crackers in a nice little funny moment. And then straight after, and I mean straight after the match, the Usos go backstage and they do a promo with Rhino and Slater, and it was really weird because it was straight after and they were out of breath, and they were like a bit like me now. And it's a case that they said that they could go after Heath's knees right now, or, you know, hand them the titles right now. If they weren't going to do that, then they'll get the belts one way or the other. It was a weird segment because they were out of breath, and it felt to me like it just took a few seconds, a few moments for them to kind of find their feet before they actually kind of really got into the promo. Just minor observations, nothing that important, but it was good all-round kind of segment. The match itself wasn't brilliant, but I like the storytelling, and as I said, I like what's going on. It's all building up towards the Usos against Slater and Rhino at No Mercy. I think they dropped the titles because I think Rhino goes off to do his political things, as we've mentioned in quite a few videos. And I just think then that you've got a ready-made American Alpha against the Usos kind of feud ready to roll. Nothing amazing, but at least it wasn't a disaster like Corbin against Cruz. That was awful, in my opinion. It was an extended squash match for Corbin. Does absolutely nothing for Apollo Crews. You know, if Apollo Crews is meant to be this future world champion, I don't see how they're getting there, and I don't see them getting there anytime soon. I don't see how Corbin going into a feud against Jack Swagger is going to help anyone. You know, Swagger needs to go into a feud with someone that he can win against. He won't beat Corbin. And Corbin, even if he wins that, he's only beaten Jack Swagger. It's not. This isn't going to work for anybody, and I'm not on board. Next, we get Kurt Hawkins, another thing I'm really not on board with. I don't like these skits. In fact, I was under the impression he was meant to have debuted by now, and yeah, it's all just a rehash of like Chuck Norris quotes that have been on the internet for a long time. And I'm just not excited for his debut. I don't think he's going to be anything special. I don't want to see any more of these quotes and skits. I'm out. And these are the things for me that are really hurting Smackdown Live. Next, we get Naomi backstage. Her glasses were like a disco ball. They were really cool. I do have a criticism though of her glasses. She keeps changing them, because I remember she had some other ones that had like LEDs on and the lights were like waving up and down, and they were really cool as well. She's got some awesome glasses, right? Fact. But they keep getting in the way of her entrance. Like, I want her to come out and really just let go and really, you know, dance around down the entrance ramp and all this. You keep seeing her having to like hold the glasses on, or maybe she'll take them off and having to dance with them in her hand, and it's an accessory that is clearly getting in the way. What she needs is Bret Hart glasses, you know, ones that like go around the back and just stay in place, and then she can do whatever she wants to do. I want her to kind of let go a little bit more in her dance routine, in her entrance, because it is such a great entrance. It's one of my favourites. And this week, her entrance was brilliant for her attire. I loved that kind of string vest kind of dress thing. You can tell I'm like proper up on fashion. But yeah, she was wearing this and it was glow in the dark and it looked awesome, right? It looked really cool. But the moves that she was doing just weren't that amazing. Amazing. Yeah, they weren't that special. It's nothing that we hadn't seen before. It wasn't even that kind of frequent. She would do something and then she'd do a little walk, and then there'd be something else and a bit more of a walk, and then she'd go up the steps and then she'd do a thing in the ring. It's just like, I want something that's a little bit more. I know she's going to be knackered by the time that she gets to the ring, but in all fairness, she didn't really do anything anyway. So, and she would have known in advance that this was going to be a very, very short segment, and in fact that's how it turned out. You know, I still don't know if it was a tag match or if it was just Nikki against Natalya in a singles match. It passed me by as to what it was meant to be, but what happens is Carmella grabs Nikki, pulls her out, hurls her against the barricade. It was quite vicious. It looked good. I liked it, but yeah, DQ after like a minute and that's it, we're done. So the segment itself didn't achieve anything. The show wouldn't have been any worse off had it not have existed. Really, it was just for that one moment for Carmella to kind of further her heat with Nikki, and for Naomi to have an entrance, because I think she might have been the only one that had an entrance. But it is a great entrance. And then, you know, the best match for me, Miz against Ziggler. My notes here, Miz, 5-time champion. I didn't realise he'd been champion so many times. Back and forth match. A beautiful drop kick from Dolph Ziggler. Now, I don't normally talk about drop kicks. They're a pretty standard affair. I seem to recall the Miz coming down. I don't know if he was jumping off the top, but the height that Ziggler got and the extension, the snap that was in the drop kick, it was lovely. It was really cool. Mocking Bryan by the Miz, as he's kind of been doing the past few weeks. you know, where he like has his opponent in the corner and then he'll run towards them, kind of smash into them, go back to the corner and do the same. Not many close falls at the start, but a slingshot sit-up powerbomb from The Miz. He kind of has Ziggler like this, and you see he goes over to the ropes, hurls him down, Ziggler bounces up, bang, into a powerbomb. It was a lovely spot, and this is what I'm saying, Miz is doing some fantastic work at the moment. Maurice gets thrown out because she goes to spray, I think it's hairspray, in Ziggler's face, and the ref catches her and, you know, throws her out. The drama builds at this point. You know, now it feels, because this is for the IC title, and this is like, oh, there's no Maurice. Literally anything can happen now. Zigzag for a 2 count. You know, crowd proper behind it. Unfortunately, this is awesome chance, but unfortunately at that point starts to wind down. The Miz grabs the belt, looks as though he's going to go home, and basically Ziggler grabs him. He gets sprayed by The Miz, and skull crushing finale. 1, 2, 3. Match is over, but the match was great. It was wonderful, and as I said, probably my favourite match of the 2 brands. Orton against Eric Rowan, squash match. RKO win for Orton. Lights go out. When the lights come on, there's the sheep mask in the middle of the ring. Bray Wyatt says, you know, well done, but you're still just a man. I'm a god. I'm out. I don't care. I'm waiting for something to happen, and for weeks now nothing has. And then that kind of brings us to the main event, which is Cena against Dean Ambrose. I'm amazed that they just made this the main event of Smackdown Live. This has got WrestleMania written all over it. I said in my Raw review, I'm worried about the fact they're giving us such high-profile matches. As, you know, I mean, what was it? Roman Reigns against Kevin Owens in a cage on Monday. Then you get John Cena against Dean Ambrose in the main event of SmackDown on Tuesday. It's just like, we're going to run out of quality matches. It's not going to make your SummerSlams, your WrestleManias, your Survivor Series feel as special if you're just going to get this stuff every week. So it's difficult, because on the one hand, I love seeing it, but on the other hand, I do have that concern. But yeah, the match itself was a bit underwhelming, actually, saying all of that. Ambrose kicks out of the AA, hits Dirty Deeds, gets a 2 count. Ambrose beats Cena with a cheap roll-up. I think Cena was kind of looking to go for a second AA, and it falls apart. Quick roll-up, 1, 2, 3. Ambrose wins. Quite a surprise, actually. A big surprise. I didn't know what they were going to do. I suppose I suspected AJ Styles would interfere. But for Ambrose to get a pin, a clean win over Cena on SmackDown is... I mean, even Cena couldn't believe it. Cena was just like, what is going on? You know, and maybe they're playing up that part-time thing. Maybe they're playing up the fact that he's a part-timer and, you know, maybe it's not going his way. But I think all of this looks to me like it's pointing towards Cena winning the title very soon. Because I think that they've kind of put him into a position where he's down on his luck. He's lost against Styles. He's lost against Ambrose. Best revenge is to take the title. He could do that at No Mercy in a few weeks. We'll have to see. Styles does come down. He jumps Cena, hits a Pele kick. Really nice, actually. Really good Pele kick. It was a nice spot. Brings Bryan out. Bryan goes, look, Ambrose does have his rematch, and it's going to be next week. I mean, how many times has the WWE Championship been defended on TV? Yeah, a fair few over the years, but it's not a regular occurrence. And you're getting it next week? I don't know. I'm just worried. I'm just a bit worried about it all. Just want some stuff for pay-per-views. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks a lot for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the show in the comments below. Give the video a like if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And hopefully, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.